To order at 7 p.m. I'd ask the village clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Krusek,
Present.
trustee Page,
Present.
trustee Kagan,
Present.
trustee Annalise,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Blair,
Present.
quorum established.
Before conducting the Pledge of Allegiance tonight, the board and I would like to dedicate this meeting in remembrance of all our 9/11 heroes and all our first responders, our police, our firefighters, and our paramedics. I have a moment of silence first. Thank you. Now we'll move to the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll have our police that are present tonight lead it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, liberty and justice for all.
Tonight, we are pleased to have a special recognition item this evening, and I would like to call on Chief Stephenson, if he would come up, please.
Good evening. Thank you. If I could have Ed Poxon join me at the DS, please. So we're here tonight. Whoops, hold on a sec. All right, what am I doing? There we go. All right, so we're here tonight to celebrate Ed Poxon's 35 years of service to the village of Woodridge. Kind of preparing this little thing, one of the things I kind of realized about Ed is he's very good at not having his picture taken. I had a really hard time kind of finding some photos of Ed in action, but I did find a couple, and we'll talk about some of Ed's exemplary service tonight as well. A little background on Ed. He graduated from Downers Grove South High School in 1985, and then he immediately joined the Marine Corps and served our country faithfully from 1985 to 1989. After being discharged from the Marine Corps, he started with the Woodridge Police Department in 1989, and he was a police dispatcher, and he was a police dispatcher when I started, and he worked the midnight shift back when we were on 8-hour days. He was a dispatcher for many years. Moved to the CSO position, or community service officer position, in 1999. Started off as a street CSO, but then was very quickly moved into the evidence custodian community service officer role, where he has served with distinction, and that's exemplified by in 2000, Ed was the Woodridge Police Department civilian employee of the year, and he's also been a recipient of the DEA Enrique Camarena Award for his efforts in the department's drug enforcement activity within the village of Woodridge. Ed also currently serves on the Village Employee Recognition Committee. One more thing, and it kind of shows his tradition of service, is when you start diving into people and their background, you learn something about them that I never knew about Ed, and I've known Ed for 27 years now. Apparently he had quite the bartending service when he was in Okinawa during his Marine Corps service. If you don't recognize him, Ed's the one as you look at it in the right, in the striped shirt. It was many years ago, and apparently he was a very popular bartender. So I just want to say to Ed, thank you very much and congratulations, Ed. Thank you. Your words? No. You gotta sit up, man.
Thank you. This is my first, job out of the Marine Corps, so I kind of feel like I've been here forever, and I kind of have been here forever. When Sergeant Murray just said that everyone on his shift wasn't even born when I started here, so it makes me feel younger. But I appreciate it, and you stuck with me for at least 5 more years, so.
Good.
So that's it.
On behalf of the mayor and the village board, thank you for your 35 years of dedicated service to this village, and we hope you're around for a lot longer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got to lock down your Facebook, bud.
Now I'm going to ask trustee Kay Page to read a proclamation for Constitution Week.
Whereas our founding fathers, in order to secure the blessings of liberty and prosperity, did ordain and establish a constitution for the United States of America. And whereas it is of the greatest importance that all citizens fully understand the provisions and principles contained in the Constitution in order to effectively support, preserve, and defend it against all enemies. And whereas the 233rd anniversary of the signing of the Constitution provides a historic opportunity for all Americans to remember the rights, privileges, and responsibilities they afforded us in this unique document. And whereas the independence guaranteed to American citizens, whether by birth or naturalization, should be celebrated by appropriate ceremonies and activities during Constitution Week, September 17th through 23rd, as designated by proclamation of the President of the United States. Now therefore, Gina Cunningham, Mayor of the Village of Woodridge, DuPage, Will, and Cook Counties, Illinois, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through 23rd, Constitution Week, in the Village of Woodridge, and urge all citizens to reaffirm the ideals of the Constitution by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us and remembering that lost rights may never be regained.
Thank you, trustee Page. Can I now ask trustee Krusek to read a proclamation for National Hispanic Heritage Month?
Whereas we celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month and the rich history, culture, contributions, and importance of Hispanics and Latinos to our country and our community, and the American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central America, and South America. And whereas the September 15 date is significant because it is the anniversary of independence for 5 Latin American countries, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. In addition, Mexico and Chile celebrate their Independence Days on September 16th and September 18th, respectively. And Columbus Day, or Dia de la Raza, which is October 12th, falls within this 30-day period. And whereas the 2024 national theme for the observance is Pioneers of Change, Shaping the Future Together. And whereas today Hispanics form the largest ethnic or racial minority group in the United States with over 62.6 million people, Hispanics are advancing our economy, improving our communities, and bettering our country. And whereas during National Hispanic Heritage Month, we honor and celebrate the rich and vibrant traditions of Hispanic and Latino faith, family, hard work, and patriotism. We are grateful for the innumerable contributions they made to our society, which are vital to our community. Now, therefore, Gina Cunningham, Mayor of the Village of Woodridge, DuPage, Will, and Cook Counties, Illinois, in recognition of Hispanic Americans, past and present in our community, does hereby proclaim September 15th, 2024 to October 15th, 2024 as National Hispanic American Heritage Month, and encourage all residents to celebrate our diverse heritage and culture and continue the efforts to create a world that is more just, peaceful, and prosperous for all.
Thank you, trustee Krusek. Can I ask trustee Annalise now to read proclamation for National Suicide Prevention and Action Month?
Whereas suicide is a national and statewide public mental health problem which occurs among all age groups and across all socioeconomic, racial, and ethnic backgrounds, is the 12th leading cause of death in the United States and the 2nd leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 20 and 34. And whereas in the United States, over 45,000 people die by suicide each year, and several thousand friends and family members are changed forever by losing those people. And whereas suicide is preventable, and it is appropriate for a week to be set aside each year to dedicate our thoughts to improving the mental health of all Woodridge residents and raising awareness about suicide. And whereas assistance and support is available through DuPage County Crisis Line 211 and Suicide and Crisis Lifeline 988. Now, therefore, Gina Cunningham, Mayor of the Village of Woodridge, DuPage, Will, and Cook Counties, Illinois, call upon the citizens of Woodridge to observe the month of September 2024 in the Village of Woodridge to to promote awareness and ask residents to recognize September as National Suicide Prevention and Action Month.
Thank you, trustee Annalise. We're now going to move to our comments from the public. We will pause to acknowledge any written public comments that have been received prior to the meeting that do not relate to tonight's agenda.
Mayor Pro Tem, we have not received any.
I will now ask Administrator Stonich if there are any members of the public who have joined us who wish to comment on items not related to tonight's agenda. Seeing none, we're going to move to comments related to the agenda. Administrator Stonich, do we have any written public comments?
Mayor Pro Tem, we do not.
And do we have are there any members of the public who have joined us tonight who wish to comment on items that do appear on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to our omnibus, tonight's omnibus. Administrator Stonich?
First item A is Resolution 2024-53. It's a resolution authorizing the acceptance of certain required improvements in the bill of sale for certain improvements for 6804 Route 53. This is the Everclean Car Wash. Item B is Resolution 2024-54, a resolution authorizing the acceptance of certain required improvements in the bill of sale for certain improvements for 1000 Woodward. This is the Eaton building. Item C, ordinance 2024-46, an ordinance amending Village Code of the Village of Woodridge, Title 7, Chapter 5, Water and Sewer Regulations, Section 7-5B-6-7, Non-Conforming Water Meter Replacement Program, and Section 7-5A-8, Fees and Charges. This ordinance would propose to modify the code in order to update various provisions related to the implementation of the village's water meter replacement program and associated charges. Item D, E, F, and G are prior board meeting minutes. Thank you.
May I have a motion to accept resolutions 8? Are there any items that trustee would like to have removed?
Yes, I'd like item C to be considered separately, ordinance 2024-46.
Okay, so I would like a motion to accept resolution A, B, and accept the minutes of D and E, to approve A and B, and accept D and E, F and G.
So moved.
Thank you, trustee Krusek and trustee Kagan. Can we get a roll, please, clerk?
Trustee Page,
Aye.
trustee Kagan,
Aye.
trustee Annalise,
Aye.
trustee Krusek.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, now, can I get a motion to approve ordinance 2024-46?
So move Kagan.
Can I get a
Second.
second? Second. Oh, trustee Krusek, okay. Is there any discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem, I'm unable to support this ordinance because one of the fees that is seeking to be adjusted is the reconnection fee. And if a family struggles enough that their water, a vital necessity, is disconnected, how can they afford an increased fee to have it reconnected? So I do support the water meter program, but I'm unable to support the fee changes.
Any other discussion? Okay. May I have the clerk call the roll, please?
Trustee Krusek,
Aye.
trustee Page,
No.
trustee Kagan,
Aye.
trustee Annalise.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Oh, Mayor Pro Tem. We need 4 votes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Aye. Aye.
Okay.
So just so the record's clear, Mayor Pro Tem Blair did vote aye. Is that correct, Mayor?
I
Pro
did.
Tem?
I did.
Okay,
So now motion passes.
there you go.
Okay, now we move to the mayor's report. And tonight, we just want to remind all our residents that on September 11th, at the Lyle Woodridge Fire Station in downtown Lyle, there will be a September 11th remembrance ceremony at 8:30 in the morning. We invite everybody to attend. Also, during the month of September, we are honoring all 9/11 heroes and our own first responders, our police, our firefighters, and our paramedics. You can show your support by having a red and/or blue porch light lit for the month of September. That's my report.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. The first item A under the Administrator's Report, this is Resolution 2024-55. It is proposed Economic Development Strategic Plan for the board's consideration. And Director Clark has a brief presentation for you this evening.
Good evening. So before us, we do have an economic development strategic plan, as the village board has spent several months discussing some of the economic development initiatives that they would like to see in the next coming months and coming years. So this plan is to briefly discuss those ideas and memorialize it and allow it to be a working document, as we are continuing to do quite a bit of these initiatives initially. So the goal is that having a plan is being proactive and putting it out there and communicating that we have ideas, we have initiatives. It'll be very targeted. In our sessions, we all identified key strategic areas that we feel we need to put all of more focus and effort on, which will also be complemented and represented in our update to the comprehensive plan. So that feedback was vital in directing that process as well. And then just establishing goals and policies to help guide the economic development growth of the village. Primary goals that we outlined is the prospect development, and that is where we are looking to get new redevelopment opportunities, and those are the sites that we've identified, and there's some ideas on how we should be proactive and get those sites developed. Another category that's important to economic development is our business retention. You know, every existing business we have offers opportunities for us to attract new businesses, so we have opportunities there identified. And then lastly, just professional and economic development support, those opportunities where we can get out, networking with other professionals, working with other entities within our agency to support our goals. So we have it broken down in those three categories. We have some short-term, long-term goals. Some things that are already underway is the comprehensive plan update, which does take in those redevelopment sites that we've identified as key areas. That will be completed in the next 15 months, and we'll be engaging our business community as part of that process, which will give us even more information to further incorporate into our economic development plan. We've already kicked off the analysis of identifying some other economic development tools for our redevelopment sites and our key corridors. We are exploring additional events through the administration's office and the feedback that we've gained throughout the budget process. And we're also looking already software that will better implement business licensing to streamline things for our business community, as well as we will always continue to do our outreach with property owners and existing businesses. So right off the bat, we are already doing a lot of these things that we're memorializing in a plan. And the goal is that this document, especially when the comprehensive plan is completed, we'll be able to further revisit this, add some more even specific items that we can further discuss as a team. And the idea is to visit this regularly and see how any ideas or goals or things that may change that affect this plan. So that's what we have. The plan has some action items and some metrics, so we can throughout the year demonstrate how we are kind of making those actions and metrics to show the board on where we're going. So happy to answer any questions. I really do enjoy the process that we went through as a group, and I think we got something here that we can move forward with. So
Questions? No questions. Thank you, Director Clark.
thank you.
And I have a motion to approve Resolution 2024-55.
So moved.
Thank you, trustee Page. Second. Thank you, trustee Annalise. The clerk call the roll, please.
Trustee Kagan,
Aye.
trustee Annalise,
Aye.
trustee Krusek,
Aye.
trustee Page.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I get a motion to approve ordinance 2024-47 and ordinance approving a plat vacating two portions of the village right-of-way and granting of certain easements at 8102 Lamont Road. Need a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you, trustee Annalise.
Second, Kagan.
Thank you, trustee Kagan. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Kagan,
Aye.
trustee Annalise,
Aye.
trustee Krusek,
Aye.
trustee Page.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. With no other further business to discuss this evening, I would like to ask for a motion to adjourn this regular meeting of the village board.
So moved.
Thank you, trustee Page. Second, please.
Second.
Thank you, trustee Annalise. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The meeting is now adjourned at 7:21.